my name is Taylor and I will be guiding you through our practice today. We are going to be working on the hips, so opening the hips. We'll be moving a little bit more towards the beginning of the practice, and then towards the end we'll hold things a little bit longer and slow it down. So this is a multi-level class. I will offer modifications for everybody. If something doesn't feel good for you, you do not have to do it, or you can do a different option. So just make sure you have a nice, comfortable space. And then we're going to start by laying down on the back. So I'm going to ask you to bring the bottoms of the feet to touch, and then just let your knees fall out to the side. Now, if this is quite uncomfortable for you, you can bend your knees and place your feet flat, but just try to start with the knees out to the side. And if you do have blocks, you can place them underneath your outer thighs, and that can help support the legs a little bit as well. So that's another option if this is too intense for you. And then with your hands, you can either allow your palms to face up, just arms alongside the body, or you can bring your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your heart. And then we'll just take a moment here to check in, to notice any physical or mental sensation that maybe needs some attention. Start to notice your breath. And then with every exhale, work to release any tension, stress, anxiety. With every inhale, you can invite new energy into your body. You can just think about the kind of energy that you'd like to invite into your day or into your life. And use your inhale to bring that into your body. Work to breathe nice and deep into your belly. And then from here, you'll bring your hands to the outsides of your thighs. Softly close the knees together. You're going to draw your right knee into your chest, interlace your fingers, and wrap your fingers around your right shin. Now, hug that right knee into your chest. You can keep your left knee bent, or for a little bit more, you can extend the left leg straight. You can either point or flex your left foot, and from here, you're going to start to make circles in that right ankle. So just opening up the right ankle joint. Make sure you reverse the direction. And then come back to stillness in your right foot. You're going to hug your right knee up into your right armpit. So just take it off to the right for a moment, and then hug it up towards the right armpit. With your next exhale, you're going to bring your right hand to the outside, your left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Reach your right arm out to the side and come into a spinal twist. Now your gaze will fall over to the right. And then we'll inhale that right knee through center. You're going to draw your left knee in to meet your right. Interlace your fingers, wrap both fingers around the left shin. And again, you can place your right foot on the mat, or you can extend the right leg straight and point or flex the toe. Now as you hug that left knee up into your chest, you're going to start to rotate that left ankle, making those circles. Just wake it up. And then reverse the direction. I don't know if you can hear my foot cracking. Sometimes it does that. And then come back to stillness. You're going to bring that left knee up in towards the left armpit. So just take the left leg off to the side a little bit. Open it up. Keep your right hip rooted down to the ground. And then as you exhale, the left knee will come over to the right. Right hand outside left thigh. You come into that twist. Left arm will reach out to the side. Press the left shoulder down into your mat. And then again, the gaze will fall to the left side just to balance the body out. On the inhale, that left knee will come through center. You're going to hug the right knee in to meet your left. We're going to bring the hands behind the thighs. Start to rock and roll up and down the spine. When you have gained enough momentum, you can make your way all the way up to seated. And if you don't gain enough momentum, that's okay. Just roll over to your right and then make your way up from here. All right, so coming into a cross-legged, palms are going to be on your knees. On your inhale, you're going to open your heart, shine it up to the sky. On your exhale, you're going to tuck your chin into your chest, round through your spine as you curl it back. So sort of a cat-cow motion, but we're in seated. Just inhale, open, and exhale, close it back. 2 more times. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale. And exhale. Then we'll make our way into a tabletop position, so you can either roll over your knees. Again, if that doesn't work, just swing your legs out to the side, bring the legs behind you, and then we're going to come into that tabletop position. So hands right below shoulders, knees right below hips. From here, we're going to come straight into our downward facing dog. So tuck your toes. You're going to start to lift your hips up and back as you come into your first downward facing dog. And then we're going to start by pedaling the heels out into the mat. Bend one knee and then the other. Just walk your dog. Now allow your head to hang heavy. Relax the back of the neck. You want your fingertips to be spread nice and wide. So rooting down through all 10 fingertips, all 4 corners of each palm. And then keep your core engaged. Lift your hips nice and high to the sky. Just warming it up. Come back to stillness. You can press both heels down into the mat. If they don't touch, that's totally okay. From here, you're going to bend your knees and start to walk your feet to meet your hands at the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. As you inhale, take a halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. One last time. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. On the inhale, we'll reach the arms all the way up to the sky. And on the exhale, you'll hinge from the hip, fold it forward. As you inhale, take a halfway lift with a flat back. As you exhale, release your hands to the mat. You're going to step your left foot back to come into a runner's lunge. Now from here, just softly lower that left knee down to the mat. Untuck your toes. We're going to reach the arms up to the sky. If this is too much, you can bring your palms down to your right thigh. Now, as you reach your arms up to the sky, I want you to think about sinking your hips down towards the mat. Guide your right hip back, and then wrap your left hip forward so that your hips are pointing towards the top edge of your mat. And then if your arms are reaching up to the sky, think of releasing this tension in between your shoulder blades. So just soften and allow the shoulder blades to fall down your back. Work to keep your core engaged. So sometimes the tendency is to arch the back and puff the rib cage open, but I want you to knit the rib cage in and together. With the exhale, the left hand will come down to the mat, the right arm will reach up to the sky. Roll the right shoulder back. And on the next exhale, right hand will come down to the mat. From here, tuck the back toe, lift the left knee up off the mat. You do have the option to keep that back knee lowered if that's what's working for you, but if not, you're going to bring that left knee up off the mat. From here, we root to rise, and we come into a high crescent lunge. So same idea here with the high lunge as the low lunge. I want you to pull the right hip back, wrap the left hip forward, bend deeply into your front thigh. Now you can keep a slight bend into your left knee to help you drive that left hip forward. But if not, you can straighten that left leg out. Just try not to lock your back knee. With your next exhale, you're going to come into arrowhead. So just hinging your body forward from your hip. Reach your arms towards the back left foot. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Keep a nice deep bend into your right knee. Then as you inhale, reach the arms back up. High lunge. Exhale for arrowhead. Inhale, high lunge. One last time. Exhale, arrowhead. Inhale, high lunge. Good. As you exhale, that left hand is going to come down to the mat. The right arm will reach up to the sky again. You can hold here or you can lower that left knee. Up to you. On the exhale, the right hand will come down to the mat. Now from here, you're going to start to straighten out your right leg. At no point will you walk your right knee. So you want to lift your right hip up. So think of lifting your right hip crease up to the sky. Hinge forward from your hip. And then think about bringing your belly down to your thigh, forehead down to your shin. Eventually it will touch. But you will feel this in your right hamstring. Keep squeezing your inner thighs together. On your inhale, bend into your right knee. Shine your heart forward. And on your exhale, lift your hips up. Inhale, bend. Exhale to straight. Inhale to bend. And then as you exhale, we're going to plant the hands and step back into a plank. On your next inhale, shift your shoulders 1 inch forward. And on your exhale, lower from high to low, push up through chaturanga. Inhale for cobra or full up dog. And exhale over the toes for down dog. On your inhale, the right leg will reach up to the sky. You're going to open your hip, bend your right knee, point your right knee to the sky. From here, flex your right foot and start to make those nice big circles in that right leg. So it's like you're drawing a circle with your knee. Just opening it up. Let's reverse the direction. And then on your next inhale, you're going to softly step that right foot forward. Good. Coming back to your runner's lunge. Now from here, we heel toe the right foot towards the outer edge of the mat. Both hands are going to be on the inside of your right foot. Good. Again, if this is too much, lower that back knee down. So the only difference here than a runner's lunge is your right foot is towards the outer edge of your mat. Both hands are inside your right foot, and you're hugging that right knee in towards your right shoulder. Good. With the next exhale, we softly step that right foot back to plank, high to low, push up through chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, over toes for down dog. From here, bend your knees. Start to walk your feet to meet your hands at the top of your mat. Hinge over at your hip as you come into your forward fold. You can grab opposite elbow and softly rock side to side. Release the hands as you inhale, take a halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arms reach all the way up to the sky. And exhale, hinge at the hip, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, release the hands. We're going to step the right foot back. Runner's lunge. Good. Sinking the hips nice and low. From here, we lower that right knee down to the mat. Squeeze the left hip back. Reach the arms up to the sky. Now remember, you want to think about sinking your hips and your pelvis down towards the mat. At the same time, you're guiding the left hip back. You wrap the right hip forward. Nice deep bend into that front thigh. Right hand will come down to the mat. The left arm will reach up to the sky as you come into a twist. With the next exhale, the left hand will come down to the mat. tuck your back toe, lift your right knee up off the mat. From here, you root to rise as you come into your high lunge. Good. Sinking the hips nice and low. With your next exhale, we hinge forward from the hip. Reach the arms back, come into your arrowhead. Lengthen through the crown of your head, pull the heart and the head forward. Inhale, reach arms up to sky. And exhale, hinge it forward. Inhale. One last time, arrowhead. Inhale to reach. As you exhale, right hand comes down to mat, left arm will reach to sky. On the exhale, the left hand comes down to the mat. We start to lift the left hip crease up to the sky as you work to straighten out the left leg. Now remember, at no point are we going to lock the left knee. You just want to lift the left hip crease up to the sky, work the left leg to straight. Hinge forward from the hip. Work to release the crown of the head down towards your mat and the forehead to the shin. On the inhale, we'll bend into that left knee. On the exhale, lift the hip crease up to the sky. Inhale, bend, shine the heart forward. Exhale, straight. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straight. Inhale, bend into the left knee. Plant the hands, step back to a plank. Inhale, shift the shoulders forward. Exhale, high to low push-up. Inhale for cobra or full up dog. Exhale, over toes for down dog. On the inhale, the left leg will reach up to the sky. Bend that left knee, open the hip. We start to make those nice big circles in that left knee. Flex the left foot. And let's reverse the direction. Come back to stillness and we'll softly step that left foot through to meet the left thumb. Now from here, we'll heel toe the left foot towards the outer edge of the mat, bringing both hands inside that left foot. Sink the hips nice and low. Good. From here, you can lower down onto your right knee. Remember, you have that option as you hug the left knee in towards the left shoulder. Good. Now from here, this time you're going to switch it up. You're going to take your left foot in on a 45-degree angle, and we're going to step the right foot through and then sit the bottom down into our yogi squat. So you can keep your hands on the floor. You can also bring your hands through heart center. Your heels may or may not touch the ground. If they don't, you can bring a rolled up mat or a blanket and place it under your heels just so that you can feel that grounding down through your feet. Work to keep your back straight. And then you can use your triceps to press against the inside of your thighs to deepen your stretch. So keep your heart open. With your next exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Lift the hips up to the sky. Just give it a little shake side to side. As you inhale, take a halfway lift. Bring the feet back underneath your hips. As you exhale, hinge forward. One more time, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hinge forward. From here, step your right foot back. We're going to start to walk the feet over towards the right so that you're facing the long edge of your mat. Good. Now from here, take your left heel and point it towards the short edge of your mat. Make sure your left heel is intersecting the arch of your right foot. Your shoulders stay right over your hips. You bend into your left knee. From here, open up the arms. We come into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Now when you look down at your left knee, make sure that you can see that left big toe, just to avoid the knee collapsing inwards. The knee should be pointing right over the middle toe. On the next exhale, we'll softly release the left forearm to the left thigh. Reach that right arm up and over. We come into extended side angle. Now here you have a few different options. Option 1, hold here. Option 2, release the left fingertips down to the mat. Option 3, you can bind the arms around that left leg. Wherever you are, keep a nice deep bend into that left knee and press through the outer edge of your right foot. On your inhale, we'll windmill the arms back up through Warrior 2. On the exhale, straighten out the left leg and point the toes towards the long edge of your mat. From here, you can bring the hands to the hips, just give them a little shake, and then we'll come right to the other side. So right toes are pointing towards the short edge of your mat. Arms out, bend nice and deep into that right knee. Right knee is pointing right over the middle toes. So you want to be able to see your right big toe when you look down at your feet. And you should feel a little bit of fire building into your thigh here. You do want to equally distribute your weight between your front and your back leg. So we're not leaning forward, we're not sinking back, we're nice and equally distributed in the weight for your legs. With your exhale, release your right forearm down to your right thigh. Left arm will sweep up and over. So you have a nice long diagonal line in the left side of the body from the left fingertips all the way to the outer edge of the left foot. Hips are nice and low. From here you can hold. You can release that right hand down to the mat, or you can bind it. Ooh. Sometimes it will feel different on one side. It's very normal. If you have a strap and you want to go for the bind, or even like a shirt or a towel or something, you can use that as well to get the same sensation. From here, release from wherever you are. We windmill back up through Warrior 2. Straighten out your right leg, pivot your right foot so that your toes are pointing towards the long edge of the mat. Hands come to the hips, and we're going to send the hips back and hinge forward. You can release your mat. Relax the top of your head. Now from here, you're going to take a halfway lift with a flat back. Bring your left heel in on a 45-degree angle and then sit your bottom down. You're going to come into a nice big fan lunge. So you don't have to go as deep as I'm going right now. If you'd like, you can keep your hands on the mat, bend your left knee, hold it here. If you want to come all the way down, you can do that as well. Your right knee and your right toes are pointing up towards the sky. You can bring your hands forward. Sometimes I like to hinge forward from my hip and then just relax my head forward. Other times I like to bring my hands at heart center. So it's really wherever you'd like to go here. You just want to feel that nice deep opening through your hips and through your inner thigh there. From here, we're going to walk the hands over to the right. Right heels in on a 45, drop those hips down. Fan lunge. From here, you start to walk your hands forward. Relax your head. And then if you'd like, you can bring your hands at heart center. Try to mirror whatever you did on the left side. All right, and from here, you're going to walk your hands all the way back towards the top edge of your mat. We're just going to step back into a plank. And from here, lift the sit bones up and back, downward facing dog. Walk your heels out into the mat, pedal your feet. If you'd like, You can flow through a vinyasa just to flesh it out. All right, on the inhale, we're going to reach the right leg to the sky. On the exhale, we're going to bring the right shin through. You're going to plant your right shin onto a 45-degree angle. So if you don't already know where we're going, we're coming into a pigeon pose. So your right heel is lining up with your left hip bone. Your right wrist and your right knee are pretty much in the same line. Now from here, you can come down onto your forearms or all the way to your forehead. For some of us, this could be too intense for the knee. So what you'll do in this case is you'll come onto your back and take a figure 4 stretch. So you can press the right hand into the right thigh here, or you can thread the arms through the legs here. It's the exact same stretch, but you're just on your back and it's taking the pressure off of your knee. So you shouldn't feel any pressure in your knee whatsoever. This is 100% your hip. So if you do feel that sensation coming into your knee, or any sensation into your knee, please come down onto your back and take the figure 4 stretch instead. Now, if it is in your practice and you like to get a little bit deeper into pigeon, you can bend that back knee. Woo. Take your left hand to the inside of your left thigh and hold here. If you're looking for something that's more cooling and restorative, you're just going to come down onto your forearms. Work to release tension with each exhale. You can even envision the tension leaving your hips with your exhale, if that helps you. Now from here, wherever you are, we're just going to sit onto the right hip. Take the left hand behind the left leg and just swing the left leg out in front. You're going to extend both legs straight, give them a nice little shake. Now from here, the right leg will stay straight, so that one that you just had in pigeon will be straight, left foot to inside right thigh. You can keep a slight bend into your right knee. You're going to reach your arms up and then hinge over at your hip to come into Janu Sirsasana. So you want to bring your belly down to your thigh, your forehead to your shin eventually. Now this might look very different for a lot of people. So you may just want to place your hands on either side of your right shin or your right calf. You may be able to just reach your hands down to your foot. You may want to place a block at the end of your foot and take the block. Up to you. Wherever you are, just make sure you're hinging forward from your hip. We don't want to place any stress on the low back. So what we don't want to see is rounding through the spine and then the stretch is coming from there. I'd rather you bend your right knee, hinge forward from the hip, and then reach it forward to get into your hip and into your hamstring here. All right, we're going to walk the hands back up that right leg. Just come into cross-legged, make your way back to downward facing dog. If you would like to cycle through a vinyasa flow, you're more than welcome to do that. Just to flesh it out, you may want to take a check in to see the difference between your right and your left hip. All right, we'll come right onto the left side, so reach the left leg up. As you exhale, take that left shin through, plant it onto that 45-degree angle. Left heel is in line with right hip bone. Remember, you don't want to feel anything in your left knee, so this is all in your hip. Try not to sit off to the left side. So you want your hips to be squared off to the top edge of your mat. Something that I forgot to mention on the other side that you can also do is you can pop a block underneath the left hip or a blanket or something like that, something soft to help you keep the hips squared. And then again, you may want to take figure 4. You may want to bend that back knee, take the hand to the foot. And if you were doing something a little bit more restorative, you may want to make your way down onto your forearms or your forehead. All right, let's start to come back up onto the hands. From here, we'll sit onto the left hip. Take the right hand just behind that right leg, swing the right leg around. Left leg will be straight this time. Right foot will come to the inside of the left thigh. Remember, you can keep that slight bend into your left knee as you reach your arms up and then hinge forward from your hip. Remember, this will look very different for everybody, so just try to honor wherever you're at. Try not to push or pull too hard, so just allow your body to fall forward. Of course, you still want to feel a stretch, but we're not trying to force anything to happen that the body doesn't want to do. We're just easing the body into it, and then eventually it will open up and we can get to where we'd like to be. But even that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you're any stronger or weaker at yoga. Just focus on where you're at in your practice. And we'll start to walk the hands back up the leg. From here, extend both legs straight. We'll give them a good little shake. And then we're going to come into butterfly position. So you're going to bring the bottoms of the feet to touch, knees out to the side, just as we did at the beginning of class, but we're going to be seated this time. From here, this might be enough for you to sit here. You can prop blocks underneath your thighs or bolster or blankets. And then if you want to come deeper, you have a few options here. So the first option is you can use your forearms to press against the inside of your thighs, hinge forward from the hip, and then release forward. My personal favorite is taking the forearms, threading the forearms underneath your shins, and then using your shins to pull your forearms down towards the ground. You're going to hinge forward at your hip, relax the head forward. And from here, just slowly begin to unravel your body. We're going to come to make our way down onto our back. So just as we started, you're just going to hug your knees into your chest. Bring your forehead to your knees. Squeeze yourself into a tiny little ball. And then with your exhale, slowly release it down. We're going to come into Shavasana. So if you'd like, you can extend your legs straight. If you're still looking for more opening through the hips, you're going to bring the bottoms of the feet to touch, knees out to the side, just as we started the class. And then I would really encourage you to take your right hand to your belly, your left hand to your heart. So you can feel the breath deep into your belly in your right hand, and then you can feel your heartbeat in your left hand. Work to let go with every exhale. If you do notice thoughts trying to creep into your mind, just allow them to float away. Come back to this space. Really take this time to look inwards. Now you can stay here as long as you would like to. If you're ready to come back to this space, just start to wiggle fingers and toes. We'll join for one deep breath. So starting with an inhale through the nose. And we'll take a loud, noisy exhale out the mouth. You can stay as you are, or you can roll to your right side to come to a fetal position and then make your way up to seated. Bring the hands through heart center, bow the head to the heart. Take a moment to thank yourself for taking the time to dedicate to your body, your mind, and your spirit. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.